I'm going to show you in this video how to find the largest TEDx events. So these are the events with the best video quality, the best looking stages, the largest in-person audiences, the largest online audiences, a track record of just producing great stuff with great organization, all these things, like just top. There are many TEDx events that don't film, have very poor stages, just do a bad job, they're inexperienced, things like that. So we're going to avoid these and show you the top of the top. If you want to look like a rock star, this is the way to go. Who am I and how do I have authority to tell you how to do this? I've founded a TEDx event myself back in 2015. It became the second largest TEDx event in the UK by video views on YouTube. And as well, so I'm an insider in the TEDx world. I'm a TEDx speaker myself. I'll link to my talk below if you want to see it. And I'm a coach as well, help people navigate this whole process, mostly around figuring out their topic, but the certainly recommendations on which TEDx events are best come from this as well. So I'm going to assume you already have this tool. This is a tool that I developed. It pulls TEDx information from TED, from Google, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitter, and puts it all in one consolidated place to make it really easy for you. If you don't already have this, if someone shared this video with you or whatever, I will link to an article below where I describe more about what this tool is and how you can get a free trial of this as well. So let's assume you're looking at it. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to look at is event types. Now, there are some TEDx events that are like the main TEDx events that you're probably used to seeing videos online from people like Simon Sinek or Brene Brown or whoever your favorite thought leader. But there are other TEDx events that are more sub-events of the main event. So salon events, these tend to be more sub-events. Internal events are often, they don't often publish their videos publicly if they even have live talks. There's some that do have speakers, and there's some that don't have speakers. They show pre-recorded or live streamed videos from TED, and then they'll have a discussion group around it. It's just easier to organize an event if you don't actually have speakers, if you just have a bunch of videos. So the first thing I'm going to do is in column F, filter for only standard events and university events and TEDx Women events. These are the only event types I want you to filter for in column F if you're interested in speaking at the largest TEDx events. So that is step one, event type. These events, so TEDx Women events will obviously be mostly attended by women, and the talks are mostly relevant to women. So if your message is that in that vein, then this is a great event type for you. University events are held at universities, organized by university students and faculty. And standard events are for a sort of general public sort of thing, right? The general public and adults will fully attend lots of university events. So for everybody, I recommend standard and university. And then if your message is particularly relevant to women, then of course TEDx Women events are a great fit. I have done an analysis. I've ran the stats on more than 100,000 TEDx events. I did a scrape of all of YouTube, and TEDx Women events, university events, and standard events, their average views per event or per video were about tied, right? For all three of those, it was like a dead heat. And then the videos from youth events, library events, and salon events were about half that, right? So you could double your YouTube views just by speaking at these event types. Okay. The second thing, this is a bit of an insider trick, honestly, not like basically no one knows about this. When you apply as a person who wants to run a TEDx event or wants to renew your license that you have for a TEDx event for another year, TED says, okay, you can run an event. And what they say to most people is you can have at most 100 people in the room. Not a lot of people know this, but if the organizer, if the main licensee has attended the main TED conference, they allow this person to have as many people in the room as they would like. So in column G, you can see if this organizer for this event has attended TED. And if this is yes in this column, which you can filter for, if you want to speak on the largest TEDx stages, this is one indicator of those. Then all these events here, they're allowed to have more than 100 people in the room. Why does that matter? Well, the videos are going to be pointed at you, right? You're not going to really see the audience, But if there's a lot of people in the room, if the organizer is able to sell that many tickets, they have more ticket revenue that they can use to buy awesome like stage design and things like that. As an organizer, you have to pay for this, the big round circle. You have to pay for the big TEDx letters. You have to pay for the room, the videography, the photography. All these things cost money if you can't get a sponsor for them. And so if this column is yes, you're going to have events that are 1,000 people in the room or 500 people in the room. There's really, really, really big stages. So that is another indicator that you can look at. What is the next indicator? Okay. Next indicator is website. If they don't have a website, ignore it. So I always filter out the not found ones, so you only see events with websites. Awesome, cool. So next step here is the number of past events. This is in column N. There are some first-time TEDx events, right? They're happening for the very first time. Maybe the organizer has attended TED, right? Maybe they made a website, whatever else, but it's the first time they've ever run the event. Now, regardless of skill, if it's a first-time event is never going to be as good as an event that's happened 15 times before. It's just not going to happen. So what you can do in column N is just, you can either just filter, you can say, well, remove all the events that have happened like 0, 1, 2, or 3 times before, or you could just sort this column so that the most established events are at the top. So that is column N. The cool thing about the most established events is every year, the event will have like a larger email list. They'll have more people that know about it, which then gives them the opportunity to get more sponsors, more high caliber other speakers that are going to be joining you on stage. You network with those people. The whole event team gets more experience. They get to know each other better. I mean, the whole thing just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. Okay? Number of past events, column N. Now, there are some events that have happened even a few times before that have amazing stages. And there are some events that have happened 10 times before, and it's still not a huge, as big of a stage. So how do you figure out what the actual stage looks like? How many views a typical video actually gets? What is the actual audio quality and video quality and things like that? Well, for that, I've got column P, which is the actual past YouTube videos from the actual event. This is the most reliable way to actually see what they put out. So what I would do is if you're interested in a particular event, do a little check here. You can see what the actual videos are. So TEDx Mile High is this great event in Colorado. You can see the actual events that are put out here, who the actual speakers are from past events. So this link will just quickly filter and show you all the events all the videos from that event. Okay. So that's this. I want to show you one other really cool trick. So you have a bunch of a list. By the way, when you're interested in applying for these events, I have a separate video on how to apply that I'll link to as well, kind of up the top here, that you can check out. Another trick, by the way, is this list here, this first tab. You maybe notice there's 2 tabs. There's upcoming and there's past. The upcoming ones are licensed events from TED. So every year the organizer has to reapply for a renewal of the license, right? So I'm filming this in October. So if there was an event that happened in late September, maybe it's happening again next year, but we don't know for sure, right? Maybe the organizers would decide, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do this again. I'm going to take a break. This could happen, right? So we don't know for sure it's happening again. That's where you can look at the past event tab. The past event tab has all the same fields, right? The only difference is these are events that have happened like last week, yesterday. We don't know for sure they're happening again, but you can get another look at and filter for all the same fields in this past event tab. So that is how you find the biggest, largest TEDx events as well. So I will link when you're interested in finding the application process and like how do you apply, if it's a tight deadline and what do you do if it's a little farther out, and how do you predict an event when their application process will be. If it's really far out, like what do you do? I will have a video just over here that you can check out to find that information as well. So again, if you don't already have this tool, I'll drop a link below this video for you can sign up for this list as well. You can find all this information manually if you go like Google and hunt, like, you know, go to YouTube yourself, go to Facebook yourself and find it, go to Google yourself and try to find the website, hunt around TED's website to try to find whether the organizer has attended TED or not. But this spreadsheet is by far the easiest way because it's all consolidated in one place, and it's all really easy to sort and filter and quickly find the events in the locations and dates and things that you want. So that is all for today. Enjoy and good luck on your TEDx journey.